Hello everyone, how are we doing? You got me, Mr. Flynn, for some league racing today. Season 1 for light speed racing. And I tell you, we've got a very, very, very busy lobby today. And hello to everyone who is just tuning in. A warm, warm welcome to you also. Anyways, then, we're at Bahrain today. A pretty favourite circuit of mine, and yeah, so I'm quite excited for that. On the new game as well, which is also quite interesting and quite exciting because it's very, very different, of course, as everyone knows, from the old game of 2022. But we've got around about 17 minutes of a short qualifying, and then after that, that will set the grid for the 50% race, which will take place at 9:25 UK time. So I've been guessing there'll be a somewhat kind of like five-ish minute break or something like that to get everything sorted as well, to make sure everything's okay, and then we get going racing. 17 players currently in the lobby. Could this day get any better? Indeed it could. Is it Marts? Marts? Something like that? Hello, how you doing? Welcome on in. We're going to see how we get on today. Obviously, not the greatest at names, so like I said, we'll just see what happens and try and go with the flow. We've got King in the Red Bull right now on a outlap on those lovely soft tyres, and a lovely, I believe it's a sunset over Bahrain, so that's lovely to see as always. And also we have Ross in the Williams, you know. But do let me know, in your opinion, guys, what is your most favourite livery and car? So what are those two bits that you like about the game, and what's your most favourite of, like, all-time favourite, you could say? And why is that logo playing up? I set it up last night. It's already be a pain. Get that going like that. Oh, we love slight technical difficulties. We'll do it somewhat like that for now. That's better. All done. Professionalism at its finest. But anyways then, on board with King as he's now approaching the start and finish. He'll start his first lap here at Bahrain. Down to turns 1, 2, and the lovely 3. So turn 1 now as he approaches it. Exit looking pretty fine right there. No major issues whatsoever. And when you see purple sectors flying up, that is, of course, he is the first driver to set a lap time at the moment. So let's see if anyone can beat him, and we'll see what his benchmark for his first quick lap is going to be at Bahrain. A 29.3. Not too bad, in my opinion. I think that's really, really good. Obviously, when he does a lap, he's probably got a lot more time to find, but he's made a little bit of a major mistake there at turn number 8 on the run down to turn number 9 and 10. So he's lost a few seconds there, which will be quite frustrated about. But Ross in the Williams at 29.5. So purple in sector 1. He's gone a little bit quicker than the Red Bull so far. He'll probably do quite better in sector 2, as the Red Bull had a bit of a drift power slide, you could say. So King in sector 2, about to go to sector 3 now. It's going to be a 1 minute 10.1. So not too shabby indeed. I'm probably expecting a 1 minute 9 or 1 minute 8 possibly from some of the drivers. But as he's about to cross the line in a few moments as he approaches turn number 15, we'll see what happens to him. But Ross in the Williams, has he gone purple? Yes, he has, a 108.6. So my prediction was very, very high and was very, very correct indeed. King, though, across the line, a 133.326. Obviously, lost a little bit of time in sector 2 at turn number 10, which isn't ideal. So hopefully he'll be able to find a lot more and be more competitive up at the front of the grid. But the Williams up to the line, a 131.348. Not too shabby. Obviously, a much better lap than the Red Bull. Around about, is that 2 seconds you could say ahead or something? We'll get tyres on as well. Telemetry, we'll keep that off. But the gap to leader, 1.9 seconds separates the top two so far. So there you are. That is the quickest lap so far. But as I say that, Phil in the McLaren has done a 1:30.031. Almost the first driver in the 1:29s. Hopefully we see a little bit more there as the Ferrari stopped there at turn 1. I don't know if there was contact made, but it was quite close to contact, so hopefully there was no major issues. But King, he crossed the line to do a 1:33.326. So Red Bull, yeah, not too bad, as his teammate went across the line of 1:42.502. Yikes. He's definitely had a moment somewhere which isn't ideal. Which, yeah. Little bit annoying, you could say. Little bit annoying. But, more drivers, hopefully approaching the line soon. It would be nice to see some competitive lap times. On board with Dab now in the Alpine, as we've got a little bit of fighting going on here for track position between the Ferrari as well, which is a bit interesting. But as the Alpine's about to approach the line, it's going to be a 1:32, I believe. Oh no, 1:33.095. And that puts him P5 for now. Seth Martin, though, in the Ferrari, he was behind the Alpine, setting a 1:31.69. So, pretty good. However, Fintag in the Haas car, a 1:30.04. So, some drivers getting quite close to the 1:29s at Bahrain today, you know? Pretty interesting, but also pretty scary with how close lap times are at the moment. Oh, Jason, nice to know. Didn't know that, I'll tell you that, so appreciate for him informing me, I guessing. Anyone else? Meathead on a lap, I believe. So, in the house, in Sector 3, about to approach turns 14 and 15. Is it going to be competitive though? Can Haas do a very good start to the season and do a dominance performance? And his teammate only goes P7 with a 1:31.854. So not too bad. And someone else's position, not ideal. There's yellow flags, but there's, of course, drivers on hot laps. So drivers on an out lap or invalidation or heading back to the pit lane will just slow down and let them breeze past and let them go. Drift King on an out lap. Jaw on a out lap as well. No one really on the lap. Oh, I see that. Ian Beale in the Ferrari is on a lap up to the line for him. Where's it going to put him? It's P4. A 1:34.98. So, you could say top 6. Pretty close on lap times at the moment. Technically within a second-ish. Somewhere around that time, you could say, or time frame, really. As we're right on board with Drift King, because we haven't driven on board with him yet. Currently P16, not set a lap time just yet. In Sector 2, turn 10 now. And that was a pretty decent exit for him there. Of course, some drivers may struggle at that exit, because if you go too deep or you run too wide, it could just unsettle your car completely, which is quite annoying, to be honest. Quite annoying. So hopefully no one gets that issue and stuff like that. Anyways then, on board with the AlphaTauri, and I've been told that apparently they're changing their name for next season, but I don't know what it's going to be yet. So that's going to be quite interesting to know. But as he is approaching the line, it's going to be the fastest lap time of a 1:29.6, as Seth Martin, never mind, takes that away, and his lap time, sorry, was a 1:29.618, and Drift King's time was actually a 1:29.825. So far, the track is starting to warm up with 8 minutes of qualifying to go, and drivers are starting ever so slowly to get a little bit faster around here, as there's invalidation after invalidation for Scobie in the Red Bull. Just invalidation after invalidation, which isn't ideal, but there's not much you can do. Probably just struggling out there a little bit. Currently P15. Someone else with an invalidation is teammate King in the Red Bull as well, invalidated. What is going on with these drivers? It's invalidating left, right and centre. Obviously not ideal. In my case, we could see quite a lot of, we could say, penalties being handed out tonight, because if people are struggling on the track to get a lap time in, that could possibly mean that we could struggle and see a lot of, like I said, penalties of track limits and stuff like that. Okay, Phil, here we go. Phil is on a lap, his second attempt, I believe it is. Currently P4, so not a bad start, you could say. Apparently, it's gone purple in Sector 2, which is quite high hopes, if the game is not lying to me. But Phil, as he approaches turn number 14 and 15, he'll exit turn 15 with ERS on. DRS are wide open, that rear wing opens, you can see right there, up to the line, and there you go. Flying out there, a 1:29.278. So that is very, very, very impressive from him there. I've been told that he's in VR. That is some braveness and some skill. If he can even get in the top 10, I'll be quite impressed. But he goes a little bit deep at turn 1 and hits the rumble curb, hits the rumble strip, and yeah, he spun. Not ideal. Yeah, he's struggling quite a bit. He just hopefully doesn't get in the way of any drivers like this one behind. He just move out the way, which is actually not too bad. So no one's really been impeded. Hans said not set a lap time just yet. Let's see how he gets on in Sector 1. Is it going to be a competitive Sector 1 to compete for pole position, or potentially top 3 or top 5? But he has a bit of a moment there and loses the rear end completely, and that's a 29.935. And I believe most drivers are racing in the 128s and the 127s. So the Mercedes so far struggling to get a lap in and race pace as well. Optical invalidation, P17 at the moment. You could say not ideal either, with no lap time on the board just yet. But running on board with the Haas teammates with Finn. It said he went purple somewhere, but I can't remember where. It might have been Sector 2. But as he exits turn 15 once again, DRS, ERS on, powering all the way down to the line. It's going to be P4. A massive improvement. I think he'll be very, very happy with that. A 129.933. And I might have said that AlphaTauri was teammates with Finn, but I got a bit confused there because Finn's in the house. I meant to say Drift King, who was still chilling in the pit lane, but both teammates from AlphaTauri separated. Not far off. Not far off. Which is pretty good. So, like I said, that's not bad. AlphaTauri could have a mega start to the season, and I'd be quite impressed with that. I'm very chuffed and happy with that as well. Hans right about now, P8, and it looks like he's a little bit down on his time so far. Turn 10, however, running on board with the Alfa Romeo. Not looking too bad, but he did miss the curbs a little bit there. in my opinion, I would have done the exact same thing because they can absolutely kill you and destroy you. But let's see what his Sector 2 is going to be. Is it going to be competitive enough to improve? And it is. A 108.462, but he's still a little bit down this time, but he's gone purple in that sector. So hopefully he can find a little bit more time and set a challenge, potentially, for the top 5. Oh, are you? Okay. First lap in an F1 game. Damn. Well, hope you have fun. Just don't murder anyone, is all I say. Hands, though, went across the line. Only an improvement to P number 7, which is a 130.800. So not too bad, as he lets some of the drivers through who will be on a last lap, almost, because we've got 2 minutes and something of qualifying to go that I just realised. Here we go, Hampstead. Never mind, is he down this time? I can't tell. Don't think he is. Not too sure. I'll have to ride on board and keep an eye out for him and see how he gets on. Cobra in the Alpine now. Not been on board with him just yet, but I believe he is on a in-lap, I believe it is, because he's got no battery. And with qualifying coming to an end swiftly and shortly, it looks like, unfortunately, he'll be starting P15 on the grid, which isn't ideal. But the Red Bull's still in the garage, and he's now off and out. King, off he goes. I don't think his teammate will be out because there's literally no time anymore. And there are retirements happening left, right and centre. That being P17 in the Alfa Romeo with no lap time on the board. So we don't really get to see what his race pace is like. So we'll see what happens. 4 seconds off the pace, I know, right? Bit crazy, bit crazy. Wasn't expecting the grid to be this far apart, but I guess it is what it is. You learn and you move on, don't you? So Finn's just crossed the line, I believe, because he's not really pushing in the house, and he's gone provisional P2 with a 129.614. Seth Martin improving ever so slightly in Sector 1. There's yellow flags left, right and centre as traffic cars, you could say, are trying to move out the way to make sure they don't invade and get in the way of, you know, hot lappers. But we've got yellow flags, and that's a retirement. Oh, no, that's someone in the barriers. That was someone in the barriers, and I believe that was Hans in the barriers, which isn't ideal. Don't know how you can just put it in the barriers there, but I'm not going to ask any silly questions. But the Ferrari will be getting a lovely tow from the Red Bull up ahead. Could this be a challenge for pole position? We are literally about to find out. Across the line, and it's not. A slight improvement puts Seth Martin P2. A 129.532. Finn P3, a 129.6. Can anyone else challenge for top 3? About to find out. I believe it's dry weather. There's no rain involved in Bahrain, but I believe that's what the setting would be, but there's no wet race yet. I believe later on in the season there will be wet races, but no. There's no rain set for this. But the rain in this game is awesome to watch and awesome to drive in as well, because it feels very, very realistic, which is a good thing, by the way. But here we go then. Ian Beale up to the line. And I don't know what his position was. P6. Not too bad in the Ferrari. So Finn is safe for now in P3. Oh, lol. Yeah, I'm expecting turn 1 to be a bit of a wrecking ball. You know, a bit of a wrecking ball, people would say. So yeah, that's going to be quite the match to watch, really. But let's have a look then. Phil on pole position in the McLaren, 2 tenths ahead of Seth Martin, and behind him Finn in the Haas, 3 tenths behind, right now. And it's almost half a second from Drift King. A tenth to separate P4 and P5. But no, the rest of the grid, like P9, P10 and downwards, struggling a little bit for race pace, especially qualifying pace. That song came into your head as well. Imagine. Absolutely amazing. Now we're just waiting for players. Obviously they've got to think what setups they want to use and stuff like that, and everything else. But no, before we get this race underway, does anyone have any predictions in the chat, like who's going to win, what kind of strategies we could see here today, and stuff like that? Oh, you'll be in the McLaren next week. Very, very nice. Means that I get to do a bit of, what do you call it? Commentating on you. As long as you don't wreck it or kill anyone, we'll be fine, you know? We'll be fine. But it's one... Or was it it's formation up? Never mind. I thought it was going to be red lights out and away we go. But it's formation up. I was about to say red lights and away we go. I mean, same thing, but just a different interpretation. But there we go then. The McLaren right now leading the field with Seth Martin in the Ferrari in P2 and Finn Tag in the house in P3. Not too shabby for the AlphaTauris right by now. 4th and 5th. Really good point scoring, you could say, for AlphaTauris so far. Ian Beale P6, Ross P7, Hans P8, Bailey Tag P9, Meathead P10 to round off the points. Pitbull P11, 12th to Hampstead, 13th Dash, King 14th, Cobra 15th, 16th Red Bull, and 17th Alfa Romeo. But I am seeing a few DSQs as there's been slight contact between drivers on formation up, which isn't ideal, because what's annoying about that is they'll be starting on cold tyres, which isn't ideal. You think Finners will win this one? You know what? You know what? I 110% agree with you. 110% agree. Because I've seen Finners, because I've done commentating before with him whilst he's been racing, and he's, what, blimey, he's quick, isn't he? Absolutely crazy. You think? I mean, like I said, fire away your predictions and we'll see what happens for the end result. I'm expecting a 1 or maybe 2 safety car. Ow. As I hit my shifter there. Apologies for that loud bang you probably heard in the background. And then turn 1. It's going to be interesting. Right then. It is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 red lights. And it's going to be lights out and away we go. So as we can see, as I want to get on board with the right play here, nice camera shot there. Looks like McLaren got a very good launch there. Phil into turn 1, takes the lead, but Ferrari's Seth Martin is alongside him right now, and the lead could possibly switch hands as Seth Martin, I believe, is on the hard tyres. I can see right there, he is indeed. And the Ferrari is coming at him. Finn trying to look up the inside of Seth Martin. There's actually been contact there, which actually involved 3 drivers. There was a bit of a nudge there from Drift King on Seth Martin. But no, 3 drivers tangling up, and we're only on lap 1, and there's more carnage and chaos around about lap number 1, you could say, still. Turn number 7, and yeah, Williams is round, and a Haas is at the bottom, which is Meathead. Finn trying to get around the Ferrari of Ian Beale, but Finn's lost a few places. Hampstead is out of the session, he's retired, probably damage of some sort, and he just can't be asked to go to the pit lane, put the new front wing on it and try and push so hard. I can understand that. So we'll see Hampstead next weekend and see how his performance gets on. And I can't even remember what track is going to be next. But no, a nice little battle here between Hans and Bailey tag right now for P number 7. Lap number 2, and there's already amazing content going on. But Bailey tag seemingly in the Aston Martin, as we're just flicking back there, having the straight line speed. But here is the Alpine of Dab now, trying to put competition on the Red Bull of King. King getting a very good exit there. A little bit wobbly though. Out with turn number 2 there. But so far keeps his position. Drift King though, having a spicy battle on the soft tyres, going wheel to wheel with Ian Beale. And Ian didn't really oblige to any space there, which I saw, which is a little bit interesting. So quite a big shunt and hit of contact between those 2 drivers. Finn in P4 trying to catch up to Seth Martin, who is currently in P3. Started P2 but dropped behind as lap 1 was absolutely crazy. AlphaTauri though, P2 trying to catch the McLaren. More yellow flags. I've had contact with someone, I believe that's Meathead and Scobie, getting tangled up, etc. That is interesting. I've put you in spectator mode. That is very odd. AZ, that is very odd. Never heard of that before. But probably a new F1 2023 bug, you could say. But here's Drift King then. He is coming out of the Ferrari. Down to turn 1 we go. And he's going to try and take P number 5. Goes a little bit too deep though. And Ian will say thank you very much. And I'll take P5 once again. But the AlphaTauri might try and come back at him with DRS assistance. Down to turn number 4. And the AlphaTauri is still behind. But he is very, very, very close on the Ferrari. So we're going to continue to watch this battle to see who will come out on top. Late braking move between any drivers? No. He stays behind, which is a little bit smart there, because he can get a nice little switchback almost and potentially have DRS. And we'll see what happens as they go wheel to wheel. And there's more heavy contact between these 2. They're getting at it today. I think they're a little bit hot-headed. So I think they need to calm down just a little bit before they get a little bit crazy. Of course, this is a long race. We're only on lap number 3. Out of 29. But I can see the frustration between Drift King. If he doesn't make these positions up now, then he's going to lose a lot of time to the drivers on the grid. A lot of time. But here is Optical, you could say, in the Alfa Romeo now, trying to set eyes on P number 7. As Bailey tag goes way too deep there. Alfa Romeo on the soft tyres, up to P number 7. He'll say thank you very much, and he will have DRS assistance as well. That was a pretty sick move there by Tony. Pretty good indeed. But here is Alfa Romeo and Aston Martin going at it. And there we have it. Alfa Romeo is still ahead. Drift King fighting away with Ian. And he gets up to P number 5 finally on lap number 4. So he'll be very, very chuffed and happy about that one. But he's just got to stay ahead. Just got to stay ahead as the Aston Martin went way too wide there. And the Alfa Romeo can now set eyes and try and get past the Ferrari. But hang on. The Ferrari's already flashing. He's got hardly no battery, so that's interesting to see. Optical once again trying to challenge a move on the Ferrari as now. Is he going to do an Alonso? He thought about it, but as he did, there was slight contact between the two. And that sent the Ferrari sideways at turn 10. But I don't think anyone got any damage out of that. So positions are still the same for now. Right then. Seth Martin, 1.3 behind the top two right about now. Finn is 2.4 at the moment. I think he's just chilling and trying to save battery and just trying to re-engage in the race. But here we go then. This could be a swap for the lead on lap number 5. As the upright is quite close. Not using the battery, just using DRS assistance, and he'll go for the lead. Phil will just let him pass, let him go, and will challenge him again when he can, potentially out of turn number 2 on to number 4. But let's see what happens. It's 4 tenths, 3 tenths, almost 2 tenths. But no, so far, 1 time in the race, and it's going well. But it's good to see the top 2 aren't fighting as much. They're working together and pulling each other out of the danger zone, which is up ahead. Oh my days, Finn there. Bit of a rear end loss there, not ideal. And his rear tyres will be screaming for help. As Bailey tag, hello, trying to get past Ian, and he does successfully. Up to P7 Bailey goes. Ian now starting to fall down the order instead of going up, so he's kind of like having a tumble phase, you could say. Here we go then. Start and finish straight for lovely DRS. Is the McLaren going to get by on this lap? We are about to find out, and Seth is 1.2 behind, so he is starting to push now, Seth is. So he'll try and get in DRS and try and challenge the top 2, even challenge for pole position. So we'll see. Look how close the McLaren is though. 3 tenths, 2 tenths, and I think he's going to go for the move around the outside, and he does, and that's P1. Lovely jubbly stuff there. But Seth is on those hard tyres, so if he can keep within like 2 seconds, Seth would be singing and dancing, and he'll be quite happy and chuffed with that. But look at that, 1.1, almost within a second. Could be this lap as well. He gets some lovely DRS assistance, but I don't believe he'll get it here. But if he stays close enough for turns 13, 14 and 15, he'll get it. But never mind, he has got DRS, but I thought he passed the detection zone. But evidently not. Finn though seems to be struggling a little bit. I don't know if he's got a little bit of front wing damage or something, but he's now 3.8 seconds behind. There'll be some spicy battles happening soon between Bailey and Optical in the Alfa Romeo very, very shortly. But here we go, once again, AlphaTauri versus McLaren. Now Ferrari getting involved in this little mini fight, you could say. Here we go, another swap for the lead. Someone has spun on the track and is causing yellow flags, and I believe, unfortunately, that is going to be King in the Red Bull that has had that moment. But he carries on again, and off he goes. And there goes the McLaren once again, just breezing and blitzing by for P number 1. And my Discord notifications are going off. What I mute my phone, but I didn't. So that was lovely. So I hope you enjoyed that for like a few seconds. Is tyre wear coming into play? Not too sure, but I know that there is a tyre wear in-game issue at the moment with the recent update. No idea how EA managed to cause that problem and not solve the issue, but there is a tyre wear issue. So I don't really know how tyre wear is working at the moment with the current issue. But I'm guessing it'll be a little bit higher. But right now, tyre wear, lap number 7, tyre-wise, you could say, as we've got moves left, right and centre, and someone has spun that's hands, down to P13, Ross now promoted to P number 11. Lap number 6, or 7, sorry, but 6 laps on those medium, soft, hard tyres. Mediums will start to come to play a little bit more. Soft definitely are fading off the pace and definitely dying off. But the mediums will start to die off in a lap or 2. And then Seth Martin, who's the only hard runner, those tyres won't be done yet. They've still got a few more laps to go yet of race pace, trust me. Trust me when I say that. But that's your tyre wear update. Like I said, I know there's an in-game issue, and here goes Bailey on the Alfa Romeo up to P number 6 now. Ian getting past the Alfa Romeo as well, trying to challenge for P number 7. And there's a little bit of contact there, and even more contact, and that is the Alfa Romeo round at turn number 1. The stewards may look at that one, but on my screen, the car was ghosting. But no idea what was going on there, but if the stewards look at that one, Ian could get a penalty after the race. But we'll find out and see what happens. Oh, okay. Seth Martin has somehow managed to get around the AlphaTauri. So I kind of missed that. God damn it. I hate it when I miss things, but here goes Ian. Is that on the inside of Bailey or the outside? Whatever it was. Lovely move, and P number 6 goes now in the Scarlet Ferrari. But Bailey, though, trying to have a comeback. Trying to regain that position, but unfortunately doesn't. But here we go then. Seth Martin is within a second of Phil. What is the straight line speed on the Ferrari going to be like whilst Phil is on those wearing off medium tyres? I think Phil is straining a little bit, but Seth Martin is just chilling. AlphaTauri on a set of medium tyres. Not really proposing a challenge just yet. Drift King, though, on those softs, lap number 9 is into the pit lane. And he's probably going to come out around about P number 12? Something like that? For a front wing change as well. With a yikes. Here's Optical into the pit lane for a set of medium tyres. No front wing change needed. And there we go. Lovely quick move for Alfa Romeo. Bit of a long one for AlphaTauri, of course. They had that issue. They needed to change that front wing. Stuff like that. There you are. Bish, bash, bosh. Into the pits. Comes Scoop. But he gets a 5-second time penalty for speeding in the pit lane. Not what you want. And not ideal. But I've had to be honest. I wouldn't say it's time for medium tyres. That's way too early for the mediums. They'll be quite off the pace and quite wary near the end. As Dab losing a few positions there. I believe that was 2 positions in one corner. Ross getting past and Pitbull as well getting past. So not ideal. Don't really know what's going on there, I had to say. But here comes Seth Martin once again. The AlphaTauri out of the DRS zone. So that is interesting. And here comes Seth in. Is he going to make an attack? If he is indeed, turn on we go. Late braking for the Ferrari. Wheel to wheel with the McLaren at turn 1. Exit at turn 2. They get a little bit too close for comfort. The Ferrari was forced on the curb there. But he gets DRS assistance. He's using the battery a little bit. Still challenging and going wheel to wheel. But there you go. Seth Martin now into P1 with the McLaren 1/10 behind right now. Trying to set a challenge, but so far isn't really able to, you could say. Isn't able to set a challenge just yet. But no, that was some lovely wheel-to-wheel action. Very, very nice. Right then, Ian is looking pretty close to Bailey Tag once again. In Sector 2, turn number 9 and 10 now. But actually, he could make a move here if he gets a really good exit. But he has a little bit of a power slide once again. Just goes to show that those rear tyres are starting to fade off a little bit. That was now Drift King getting past Cobra. Cobra is going a little bit slowly. Has he got damage, I wonder? I wouldn't be surprised if he has got a little bit of damage. We will see. We will see. But here comes Ian once again, waiting for the start and finish and waiting for that DRS zone. Battery is flashing, however, so he is low on the battery as well. The ball's up to the right and might pull into the left to defend his position. He does, and up to P number 5 he goes at turn 1. With an Aston Martin following very closely. But Drift King across the line, fastest lap time of a 1:33.100. And Drift King's in P number 10 on those medium tyres. So if he pushes a little bit harder, he could get a good result out of this. From the undercut he is attempting. McLaren though, pitbull wide, wide, wide. And Ross is through. And up into P number 8 he goes on old medium tyres. Indeed they are 10 lap old. But pitbull once again through. And up to P8 he goes. That was a lovely move there. Users that have box is going to be Drift King, Optical, and Hans, and the Red Bull right at the bottom. Those are your latest updates from the pit stops. But these two once again going at it wheel to wheel, almost, and they will actually go wheel to wheel, but the Williams off the track there. I think he was forced off by the McLaren, which wasn't ideal. And from that unfortunate event, he loses 2 positions in one corner and goes down to P number 10. The Alfa Romeo, though, setting a charge right now. P number 11 and on a fresh set of medium tyres. Trying to charge through the field and see what kind of result they can get. But here is Drift King. What a lovely switchback that was out of turn number 15. That was absolutely superb. Timed to perfection and was lovely. Absolutely amazing. Right then. I'm pretty surprised, right? How these mediums are still holding on to the hards. That's actually quite surprising. Of course, I know this may sound like a silly question or like a sarcastic comment, but to be honest, right? They've got DRS assistance, which helps them. They've got the battery, which helps them. But those mediums should be starting to fade off. But they're not, which is quite surprising. So Seth Martin might want to be a little bit worried here. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. As Ross once again getting past Pitbull at turn number 8, 9 area. And the McLaren will get DRS, I believe. And he does. But there goes Ross. Burning the battery, you could say. And he'll stay ahead for now. But here comes Phil, trying to challenge the Ferrari once again as Seth Martin. Down to turn 1 we go. Ferrari late braking. McLaren might go for a good switchback here. He gets a poor exit, and look at that. Going off track just a little bit, Phil did. Has awarded him a 3-second time penalty, which isn't ideal. Bailey P5, Ian Beale into the pit lane. We'll switch to those hard compound tyres. And there is DB getting overtaken by Drift King. But DB just looks like he's going a little bit slow, which is a bit confusing. But I could be wrong. Maybe he's just not competitive and not confident with the game yet. You never know. But like I said, Drift King, absolutely flying. Here we go. King under pressure from Hans now. P number 13. Turn 1. Hands through. Lovely stuff. But a nice switchback here could be ideal, and it is. Breezed by the Alfa Romeo. That was absolutely lovely once again. Amazing. But the Red Bull goes way too deep, way too wide, and the Alfa Romeo will go through once again. And now I believe they're coming up to lap traffic. As Seth is in, AlphaTauri is in, and Finn stays out. Switch to the hards. And there we go. Seth now leading with no competition behind. Finn in P2 struggling a little bit for race pace. It's a bit unlike Finn, but I guess it is what it is. The McLaren will exit. AlphaTauri will exit, and Bailey slowly exiting. Where is Ian? Here is Ian, and I believe Bailey is going to overcut him. But it will be quite close. But I think, never mind. Ian's just about done it, I believe. I think Ian's done it. Has he? Just about. Just about as the Aston Martin exits the pit lane. Amazing. That's what you call a very close exit to pit exit. That was, yeah, quite close. As Cobra there having a horrific time on those tyres, sliding out of turn 3. Not ideal. Here we go once again. These two fighting really, really hard for P number 13. And here comes Finn, I believe it is. Never mind, that's actual... I thought it was lap traffic, but it's not. So ignore me. So... wow. Seth is flying now, 5 seconds away from Finn. Finn in the pit lane for a switch to the hard tyres. Get off those mediums straight away. Here comes Phil, and here come both AlphaTauris. Can Finn spoil the fun and get ahead of 1? And he is going to spoil the fun, and he's going to come out ahead of Drift King. So Spear Finn has spoiled the AlphaTauri fun. Pitbull now into pit lane as Bailey will go up to P number 9. Pitbull to a switch to the hard tyres. Eh? Has he already made his first stop? I'm really confused. So he gets off the hards. The hards, or was that a game glitch? Probably a game glitch, hopefully, because that would be an interesting strategy. But now, 19 seconds is the gap between P1 and P2. And Seth is just staying out for now. But has he got tyre life in those tyres? And he's been on them for 15 laps on those tyres. Crazy. As Phil does the fastest lap of a 1:32.5, I believe it was. So not too bad. Really, really good there from Phil in the McLaren. Here's Meathead then, approaching Hans, getting past 4P number 11. He'll be very chuffed. And, like I always say, very, very happy about that one. Lap number 16 now, almost to lap number 17. And Meathead is coming into the pit lane. Hans will go to pin number 11. King, a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. That will be for going off the track and on the track. Not ideal. Phil, 16.9 now, so he's now flying and attempting to get faster and faster and undercut really, Seth Martin. He's going to get direct resistance. He's gone purple in sector 2, so he's flying and pushing because he knows this is his time. He's got to push, and this is his time. He's got to pounce. But the Ferrari will be on a fresh set of medium compound tyres, so he'll be a lot faster than Phil a few laps later. There we go, Phil, a 1:32.4. Amazing lap from him. But it is going to be quite close between AlphaTauri and Ferrari. The Ferrari is still in the pit lane. And here is Seth Martin in FinTag. And Seth is ahead on those mediums. Now it's got a lot of work to do. Not many more laps to go. And if he wants to get pole position back, he's got to put a charge. He's got to go, go, go. And there is Bailey getting up into pin number 8 now. Going past Ross in the Williams. Seems like Ian is setting a little bit of a charge right now. I'm trying to get P6. Not too bad. I think I'll be quite happy with that one. Yellow flags. What's happened? Oh, that was a Red Bull round. That is going to be Scobie, I believe. Yeah, P16. And, yeah, I think he had a little bit of a spin at turn 10, which isn't ideal. Cobra, P12. As Hans is in the pit lane to serve his 5-second tyre ability onto a set of medium tyres and a lovely, joyful front wing change, you could say. And Cobra just having a very lonely and quiet race so far. That's all you could say. But Seth Martin, after one lap of racing on those mediums, he is already within 1 second. So you know for sure that those tyres are working. Look at the straight of DRS power he had there. Exits will be a lot better for him as well, so he may get past the AlphaTauri on this straight. If he has enough battery and enough horsepower in that Ferrari, he was thinking about the move but didn't do it just yet. But he's made the AlphaTauri go a little bit too deep, but the AlphaTauri still remains in P3 for now. Ian gains a position, goes into P6, and this could be a late dive here for the Ferrari, and it is. Up to P2 he goes. Lap number 18, turn number 8. Superb move there by Seth. He now sets eyes on Phil up ahead, who is only 6 seconds up the road, so it's not a massive gap to close and attempt to gain it, but nevertheless, he'll be fine, and he'll be able to catch if he keeps himself under control, nice and chill, and good vibes, stuff like that. What were we looking at though? We're looking at these two. Ian getting by for P number 6, and the Alfa Romeo attempting a comeback right about now, which I think he'd be hoping for. That's not a bad strategy between those two. Steph, though, there you go. You can just see those tyres are working. A 1:32.9, 296, crazy, insane scenes happening right now. Steph is 5.3 behind, so he's flying, having a good time out on the track, you could say, and is getting helpful DRS assistance from the lapped car, which should be moving to the side, but he is ghosted, so it won't cause too many problems. But the lap car does slow down to let by not only Seth Martin but also the AlphaTauri. Very, very, very good sportsmanship there, you could say. And now here it is, the moment we've been waiting for. The charge has to happen. Almost 9 laps remaining of this Bahrain Grand Prix. Round number 1, it's season 1, and there's already thrilling action happening. But so far today, it feels like Finn just doesn't have the race pace to contend for the race win. But he does seem to be a little bit more alive now on those hard tyres. So could he potentially try and snatch away not only P3, but potentially P2? Of course, the top two will be fighting quite a bit, but so far, Seth Martin isn't gaining as much as he would like to be. But like I said, Finn looks like he's a little bit more alive on those hard tyres. We've got yellow flags, and that is going to be optical. Not ideal. P number 8 now, Bailey promoted to P number 7. Probably has a spin there. Probably these two once again coming a bit too close for wheel-to-wheel contact. Kind of missed it, like I said. Don't know what happened, but hopefully it was not too major. And Drift King is into the pit lane. Drift King is in the pits. Has he got damage? A fresh set of medium tyres goes on that AlphaTauri. Okay. That's going to be P number 7 he exits the pit lane at. Now he's got a charge to do because he's going to have the most fresher tyres on the grid. So he should be able to push a little bit hard and gain, what, 1 or 2 positions? Something like that. So he'll be happy with that and chuffed with that. But look at Finn. He, like I said, he's now alive in that car, it looks like. 1.1 behind. Trying to get in DRS zone. And I believe he is now. Yes, he's within a second. But can he stay within a second? Oh yeah, I kind of forgot about he had a penalty. Kind of forgot about that, to be honest. Not gonna lie. Kind of forgot about the penalty. 3 seconds. So regardless, once Seth gets in within 3 seconds, he'll be a race leader, technically, on penalty. But technically, Seth will still want to be ahead of the McLaren in case, just in case, the penalty gets removed for an unfair track limit or a glitch with the game. Because as we know, this game is still new. So, even though he'll get he's got a 3-second time penalty, and Seth would technically win under penalties, he still want to get ahead just in case. That's what everyone says in league racing. Trust me. I hear it a lot these days. But here we go then. Finn is back. We'd love to see it. And he has DRS on the car, up ahead. Down to turn number 11 we go. And nothing he can do just yet. But we've got more yellow flags, and that's someone that's gone straight on or something. But Ross up to P number 9, McLaren up to P number 10. And that is, oh, Dab. Dab's had a moment somewhere. And P11 for him. He went straight on at turn 1, I believe. Not ideal. Not ideal. Right then. Here is Finn. When is he going to make the charge and make the move for P3? Or is he going to wait for now? Is he going to wait? We'll just have to wait and see and be quite patient, won't we? I think Finn can do it, you know. I think Finn can do it. He's just biding his time at the moment. Ian is... Wow, okay. So that is crazy. After all the carnage that's been going on, the top 4 are 24.8 seconds ahead of the rest of the field. That is crazy. May I just say. Absolutely crazy. That is insane. Insane. Oh, come on, Finn. You got this. Make the move. Yeah, that is true. If Bailey keeps up his race pace, he will catch Ian and get moved up to P number 5, which would be a really good end result for him. But Finn just seems like he's still struggling, or he's waiting for the right time, because he was almost out of the 1 second range for DRS. 8 tenths is the gap to P3 now. We'll have DRS down here, but won't be close enough to make like a little bit of a dive or a chance. And laps are running out. They are running out, which isn't ideal for himself. But what's getting me all intense is the top 2. The McLaren in P1, lap 23, and Seth is 2.5 behind. Trying to make the charge and trying to make this aggressive strategy work as we have a spin SK round at turn number 12. To be honest, I don't know how you would spin there, but we'll pretend we didn't see that, alright? We'll pretend we didn't see that. In the background, you can see the Ferrari. It's quite scary, actually, isn't it? Seeing the Ferrari in the background. How close and how fast they are gaining on you. Oh, no! But that's not what you want to see. Seth got it all wrong. Oh, also wrong. Out of turn 15. There is your late drama. There it is. That is somewhat late drama. Drift King P6 now getting past Bailey. Drift King will now try and catch to get P number 5. Finn finally getting past the AlphaTauri. Finds himself in P number 3. And after that mistake from Seth Martin, he might have missed out on P1. So now he's really got to push if he wants to even have a chance to get that P1. Exactly, he is pushing way too hard on the car and on the tyres. Way too hard. But the McLaren had DRS just for that straight, but we'll get it once again on the back straight as they're trying to get through lap traffic right about now. Everything is now getting intense, chat. Everything is intense. I'm not even joking. The Ferrari is looking close though. Like, not close, but close on race pace. So if he gets some good laps in and gains like a second each lap, or if it was possible, I think he can still challenge for podium. Not podium, the race win. Oh, Drift King. It was before all the carnage unfolded when Seth had his moment. I think Drift King just slid through, but he is on fresher tyres than them two. He's all over the back of Ian. Look at that. But there you are. No DRS is needed. But now it's activated for Drift King. P5. But Finn has been overtaken. What? There's more craziness. Finn's been overtaken. Back into P4. AlphaTauri has taken P3 once again. Now it's all happening. It's all happening now, chat. And I think the Ferrari has gone back in years. What about Phil? Phil's got a nice lovely chunk of battery, I'll tell you. Oh, what happened to Finn, though? That's quite interesting. Did those two get too close to comfort or something? As the Red Bull goes way too wide in the background, as he saw there. That definitely wasn't the racing track. Here we go, then. Battery is on. Finn is gaining. Down the start and finish straight we go. P3. And there you are. And the AlphaTauri getting a poor exit there. Doesn't move close enough to make a move. No, it won't be. Oh, it's all going on, isn't it? Yellow flags. There's an Aston Martin going slowly. There is an Aston Martin going slowly, and that's going to be Bailey having troubles. Probably a moment there, or a spin, or just slow down. Don't even know why yellow flags were there, to be honest. Okay, here we go. 4.5 is the gap. .5 is the gap. 4.4. If Seth finds the rhythm, he will get within 3 seconds. If he finds the rhythm even more, potentially fighting for P1 on the last lap. But he's got to put in some good laps. Some really good laps. So, Finn in P3. AlphaTauri is coming at him though. On the run, down to turn number 1 we go. And the AlphaTauri takes lead once again to P3. Finn though, trying to come back. A little bit of a moment there, not ideal. But he will get DRS, or he won't get DRS. AlphaTauri will get DRS, but hang on a minute. Finn's still gaining, which is quite crazy to see. Turn number 4, but Finn is behind. I don't know what you're on about. Never heard of the F1 TV HUD. What do you mean this thing? Do you mean that? Is that what you mean? Or if you mean a different software, I don't really know what you're on about, but you can recommend it to me if you'd like to. Dun, 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 dun. 4.1, almost in 3 second gap. No, the third party software, never heard of it. I'll look at it after the race. What, is it a lot better to use? Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, I don't mind. Yeah, I could do that. Yeah, as long as it's like decent to use, I'll have a look into it. I'll definitely have a look, as this can now be Finn's chance to stay ahead of the AlphaTauri now, because look how far back he is. So what's good about the software? Out of curiosity. What is good about it? If you don't mind me asking. As we've got one more racing lap about to commence around the track. Same here, I didn't know it was a software either. But yeah, thanks for the help, buddy. I'll look at it after. Well, that sounds pretty sick. But there is 3.7. So now, if he can gain a little bit more time and get it under 3 seconds to make sure he's within that time frame, he'll be a race winner on penalties. As we commence the final lap of this race. And here goes Finn for the final lap of this race on the start and finish straight, and can still be in danger of P3 being snatched away from him. So here we go then. AlphaTauri versus Haas. And that is over, because the AlphaTauri had a massive moment there. So Finn, if he keeps it up and keeps all well, he's got P3. This is really scary, because It's quite close for the top 2. And there's yellow flag, someone's spun or crashed, and that's going to be Cobra. Once again, not having the best of races. Been a lonely driver, you could say, today. But still here, P15. Yeah, there you have it. Damn, that does sound pretty cool. Unless there's no, like, what would I say, subscription fee, I'll have a look into it after. Because that sounds pretty cool. And if it's more, like, better, then hell yeah, I'll use it. But here we go, then. Phil is about to cross the line to take P1 on the track, which he'll be very happy with. But it'll be Seth Martin, your race winner of round number 1 at Bahrain for Lights Out Racing. But he slows down quite a bit. Never mind. He'll take P2. For some reason, he slowed down. So we'll take P2. Finn will take P3. He'll be very happy with that one. AlphaTauri across the line to take P number 4. And then P5 will go to Drift King. Obviously, they are the top team with both cars higher than anyone else. So they'll be probably taking a lead in the constructors. But they'll be very, very, very chuffed and happy with that one. And we just wait for everyone else to cross the line. Ian across, waiting for Bailey and the others. That was some great racing indeed from everyone. Yeah, there were some amazing battles today, there was. I'll say that now. But we're just waiting on Dab and Pitbull. And what's quite interesting to know is that they were fighting a little bit, and Dab will finish ahead of Pitbull. One more lap and Pitbull would have been passed, but that's it. Time has run out. Time has run out. Yes, indeed, I am doing interviews. I need to find out where to go on Discord. Right, I need to find out where to go. I want to see. I go there. And the top 3, if you would love to have a interview, feel free to join the interview waiting channel, which will be in the pit lane section for the F1 drivers. But whilst we're waiting, there you are. Phil would take 25 points, Seth will take 18, and Finn will take 15. Everyone else, all the way down to P number 10, 1 point, 2 points, 4, 6, 8, 11, 12, etc. But no, only one DNF out of the whole entire race, right? And what's also interesting to know is... Oh, I forgot what I was going to completely say now. Oh yeah, what was crazy? No safety cars. So that's crazy. Absolutely crazy. Amazing. Right. I apologise for the flicker as well. I don't know what's causing that. Oh, where's the hashtag on here? You know what, I'm going to do that. Right, the top 3, if you just join, yeah, we're finished. Nice. Why have I got... Is there mics on or something? Oh, there is. Oh, no. I was really confused on where that was coming from. Ha! Right, okay. I'm going to get something set up quickly, so bear with chat. Right, okay, so I want to go to... showroom. F123 cars. Finn was in the Haas. And look at that lovely Haas car, guys. Right, before we get Finn in here, I'm just going to quickly get a certain thing set up. So let me just do that. Do. And I've got to remember where Discord is coming from. Just bear with chat. I will be with you in just a second. Just got to remember where Discord's coming through. And then we can crack on with interviews. Okay, so there's that one. So I just want to make sure I do it right here. Right, I am ready. Right, let's get him in here. Hello, Mr. Finn.
You alright?
I am very much doing well, thank you. Congratulations on P3. A very tough
Yeah.
battle, you could say, today. Also, it's interesting. You seem to be struggling at the beginning of the race. Was there damage, or did you just not have the race pace and
No, just lack
focus?
of driver talent, mate. That's all that was.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, just couldn't get in the rhythm really. I'd done more race pace running on the hards because obviously you're a bit lighter at the end, so I wanted to get a feel of how good they'd be. But I thought the mediums would be alright, but just I got caught up turn 4 and then caught in a little train, so it just took a bit longer than usual to get the rhythm in. And by the end of the first stint, obviously I know the front three were battling quite hard, so I was gaining.
Yeah.
And then the hards just felt a better race tyre for the way the car was set up and for me. So I think you could tell I was closing on Georgios in the Alpha Tower at the end, and yeah, that was a fun little battle.
Yeah, that was indeed fun to watch. And something that I always like to ask the drivers. I know it's only round one. We've got a few more races to go. Could you be a contender for the championship?
Well, hopefully come the end of the season I'll be up there, but obviously we got a lot of quick names with us this year. Seth and Philbo. Obviously Seth's new for me because I haven't raced with him before, but Philbo from previous leagues he's come on really well. Georgios joined us towards the back end of the last league we were in, and he was really quick. But obviously we're missing Jay, who's put a lot of time into it, so I'm sure he'll be up there. And some of the new ones, Optical, Drift King. I think you saw in the quali times they're all pretty close.
They
And
were
there's a
pretty
lot of
close indeed.
names all within fine margins. So to be up there at the end of the year, you've got to nail pretty much every quali session, every
Wow.
race, and you've really got to pull something out the bag to stand out and be up there.
Well, yeah, that is absolutely crazy to hear. But before I let you run away and stuff like that, of course, we can now tick off Bahrain, done and dusted, round one complete. Round number two is going to be the lovely street circuit of the amazing track called Jeddah. What do you like of a street circuit at Jeddah? I know, like close walls, uh, big straights for just straight line speed, but a few turns and here and there. What's
Yeah,
Jeddah like to you?
yeah, I don't mind it. I've had a go just in practice when the game first come out, but I'm actually here next week, so I won't be doing that one. So my focus is straight to Imola now. But I think it'll bring a few more drivers into the mix. Some drivers prefer the street circuits more than a circuit like Bahrain, but yeah, you just got to keep your nose clean and stay out of trouble around the track like that, and you should get a pretty good result. Yeah, I'm quite gutted I'm missing it, to be honest.
Yeah, probably be a lot of carnage and quite chaotic at turn one. So we'll see how that one goes. But no, once again, thanks for your time and thanks for coming for an interview and congrats on P3. And we won't see you next week, but we'll see you on the week after
Following.
that for Imola.
Lovely, mate. Cheers. Thank you.
No worries. Have a good one. Bye bye. Right then. So that was FinTag having a nice interview with us, winner of P3. But I don't think the other two would like an interview. Just having one more look over before I wrap things up. Ah, Seth wants one. Lovely. Okay. Cool. That is fine. Let's get Seth in here, shall we? They need to join the interview channel. Okay. Okay. There we go. No money's done it. Let's get him up here. Hello, Seth. Welcome to the interview channel. Congrats on P2 today. Of course, you had that very unfortunate moment on the final stages of the lap with your rear end lost at turn 15 before the start and finish, whilst you were trying to catch Phil in the McLaren overheaders who was just pulling away, but you were gaining quite a bit. Of course, you're on the mediums versus hards, different grip and more grip on the mediums. Let me know from your point of view, how do you think the race went for you today?
Well, firstly, I just want to say you've done a really good job. A really good job commentating. I was
Thank you very
watching a
much.
bit of quality and I was really enjoying it. So good job on that. Yeah. So, the 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 overall race, the drivers that I was racing with were fantastic. Like I have to give props to Phil and Finn. Like just the quality of the racing was amazing.
Yeah.
Personally, the start of that race, I enjoyed it so much. Not towards the end as much, but yeah. So I went for a different strategy as most of the top guys. I wanted to start on the hards and be a little bit slower towards the start, but then I'd have that faster tire towards the end. So I extended my stint by a lap. So I stopped at lap 16, and then obviously I had the mediums, and I overtook the AlphaTauri, and I was in P2 then, and luckily he had a penalty, but in my eyes, I didn't want to just win by a penalty. That didn't matter to me. I wanted to overtake him on the track fair and square. But obviously, you know, as you've mentioned, I had the little spin, and even towards the end, I was gaining a little bit, but I just didn't have enough time, or I didn't have the temps either. So yeah, it's really unfortunate, but you know, it was still a strong start, I think.
Yeah, indeed it was. A very strong start. Awesome content to watch your race. But like you said, quite unfortunate for that back end loss on the final stages on the lap. But once again, congratulations on P2. Like I was saying to Finn, we can now tick off Bahrain. Round number 1 is complete. Round number 2 is the lovely street circuit of Jeddah. Obviously, two massive straights of just full on power and straight line speed, and then a few corners here and there of getting a bit closer to the ball than expected. What are you like on that track?
I love it. You know, even IRL F1, I love watching the races IRL, and on the games, oh, it's amazing. I love racing it, and I think it's. I think out of all the tracks on the calendar, I would say that it's probably my best actually.
That's good.
So I'm happy that it's quite early and in the calendar, and you know I'm gonna this week now, next week I'm gonna really
Focus.
focus and get
Yeah.
down and practice because I'm gonna try and hopefully try and potentially go for a win and hopefully not bottle it this time. um, but yeah, no, I love Jeddah.
That's good to hear. And also, one more thing that I asked Finn. From your race today, I know it's round 1. Most people say the people who win the race don't really win the championship. Do you think you could be a championship contender for this season?
Um, Obviously it's very early, and you know there might be another couple of drivers that join in mid-season, so I don't want to be too ambitious. I don't want to, dive straight in and saying, "Oh, I'm a championship contender," because I'm unsure. There's a lot of fast guys out there,
Yeah.
and we had that mid stint, middle of the race, we're having a really great battle. So yeah, I'm gonna put a I don't know on that question, Flynn, because I honestly don't. But as I said, just focus down now, and should be able to answer that question hopefully in the next couple of races.
That is more than fine. That's what we love to hear. We love to hear the ambition of trying to put together some good racing content and just try and see what happens. The pressure. And sometimes the commentator's curse that I normally do when drivers start spinning is not a good sight to see. But once again, thank you very much for coming down to have an interview. Congratulations on P2.
Thank you.
We'll see you next week, hopefully, for another interview if you're within the top 3 once again. And pretty much that's it. So feel free to leave. And once again, I'll see you
Cheers.
next week.
Thanks, Flynn. See
No
you.
worries. Bye. Right then. So I believe that has everyone done now? Yeah, I think it is. Everyone is done and dusted for interviews. That is round 1 complete. So like I said, we can tick that off our list. And I could quickly move to the calendar screen, but just bear with one moment because I've forgotten to add my microphone to that section. So let me just add it, and then we can have a bit of a chit-chat about some very, 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 very quick things. Right then, there we are. So, yeah, Bahrain done now. Next is Jeddah for a lovely street circuit. As you can see, lobby opens at 8:30 p.m. GMT. That is UK time. I believe they got a little bit confused. That was meant to be BST. Qualifying at 9 p.m. as well. And then the race officially starts at 9:25. Yeah, so that is everything done and dusted. Thank you to everyone for the kind words and also recommendations for some third-party software which might be a little bit better. I will definitely look into that and have it up and running for the next stream, which will be next week on this day, which is Thursday. I'll catch you again at 8:55 UK time for round number 2 of Jeddah Season 1 of Light Speed Racing. Guys, you've been awesome. Have a spectacular rest of your evening. And yeah, I will catch you lovely, amazing, and wonderful people in the next one. Bye-bye! Guys, you've been awesome. Have a spectacular rest of your evening. And yeah, I will catch you lovely, amazing, and wonderful people in the next one. Bye-bye!